Hello everyone, Nathan here, and today I'm taking a look at A Way Out, and I'll be giving you some of my opinions on the game. And I'll tell you right off the bat here that I've really been enjoying my time with this one. It's not perfect, and we'll definitely get into some of the problems that the game has later in the video, but overall I've been loving this one. So, what is A Way Out? Well, it's a 1970s prison break co-op game, and from that description alone, you're probably thinking, what's so special about that? Sounds fairly standard, right? Well, the co-op is so different from anything I've played before, and works so flawlessly, that it makes everything feel so much more fun. The way it works is that the game is always in split screen, and requires two people to be playing the game at all times. Each player takes control of one of the two protagonists in either Vincent or Leo, and you have to use teamwork to solve whatever problems you're facing. The fact that even online both players can see the game in split screen means that players can communicate much more easily, and both players can have their own individual tasks that contribute to the objective. The screen also shifts around and resizes to highlight the more important things happening, so neither player will tunnel vision onto just their character. That allows for the story to be told in a different way, with one player going off and doing cutscene-like sections, while the other player carries on doing a task or exploring the level. And that way both players can fully know what's going on with the story, because it can be seen on both screens. And it's just a really interesting new approach to storytelling. And let's talk about that story, since this is a largely story-driven game. And don't worry, I'll be avoiding major spoilers as much as possible here, though obviously if you don't want to hear any spoilers whatsoever, you want to be completely new to this game, don't watch any videos about it. So, the first part of the game revolves around the idea of a prison break, as you might expect, with the two main characters teaming up in order to escape. And these are some of the slower parts of the game early on. After that, the story moves into the outside world, and you'll have to find ways to survive on the outside while avoiding the cops. The relationship between the two protagonists develops throughout the game as they start off wary of one another, and it feels like they could just as easily become enemies as friends, but by the time you're a couple of hours in, they have a strong bond, relying on each other to make decisions and pull each other out of sticky situations. And the way that both characters tell their stories to the other also gives the player a deeper insight into who these people are, or who they were before they were in prison. That having been said, the story is not perfect, and there are a number of moments where the situation seems way too convenient to be true, and there are cliches all over the place. But on the whole, it has enough twists and turns to keep itself interesting, while not totally pulling you out of believing that this could really happen. Even having a number of humorous moments added in that make you feel like these are real people going through real things. Even in the most serious of situations, people find a way to laugh, people find a way to have fun, and this game has that. Now, at certain points in the game, you'll have to make decisions on how to approach specific objectives, and you can either take Leo's option, which often feels like the stupid option that will give you more action, or the more careful, considered approach of Vincent, and that offers some replayability to what is otherwise a relatively short game, only lasting about 6 hours. Added to that, the fact that you can go back and play as the other character that you didn't get to try out on your first run through the game, and it is quite a different experience playing as Leo and then jumping in as Vincent or vice versa. I feel like a second playthrough is going to be well worth it. Alongside that, this game looks pretty damn good. It's not exactly what I'd call gorgeous, and I won't be looking at it for my next best looking PC games video, but it more than gets the job done. They've gone for the realistic look here, not stylizing things, and with the sometimes gritty story that they're trying to get across, it works quite well. So, that's all well and good, right? A game with a good story, utilizing excellent co-op mechanics. But what will you actually spend your time doing in this game? What is the gameplay like? Well, the moments of intense action, like chasing someone across a busy building site, jumping from scaffolding to scaffolding, or car chases where one of you is driving along hectic roads while the other player shoots at the pursuing cop cars, are broken up by much slower paced sections, which are used for story development. In these sections, you'll find yourself mainly problem solving, like trying to obtain an item that you need or find a way forward. Or alternatively, you'll find yourself wandering around talking to NPCs, trying to get information out of them, or trying to convince them to do something for you. There are other little portions of gameplay that add variety, like some brief stealth sections reminiscent of something like Assassin's Creed or Uncharted 4, as you hide in bushes popping out to take out enemies, but these mechanics are used very sparingly and only briefly in the game. and they certainly don't make up the majority of what you'll be doing. Now, some people may not like the slower moments in the game, but for me it spaced out the action nicely and really helped with character development. Sure, it's great having those intense adrenaline rush moments, but the whole game can't be like that. Because if everything is that crazy and exciting, nothing is crazy and exciting. Alongside that, something that surprised me is the fact that there are a lot of mini-games scattered all over the place. Some of which are surprisingly fun, like the button-mashing arm wrestling game, or a Guitar Hero-like banjo and piano rhythm game. And when you add in the fact that they let you compete against whoever you're playing the game with, they're actually worth stopping to check out. Games are obviously often more fun with friends, and a lot of the gameplay in this one feels like it's designed to make you and whoever you're playing with work together, and yell at each other when things go wrong, and find those funny moments. And a lot of the fun of the gameplay comes from the fact that you're playing with a friend, and for me, that's a really good game design. Although obviously it has its drawbacks, and the fact that the game requires 2 people to play and there is no possible way of playing on your own and no online matchmaking means you'll always be relying on someone else having the time or even wanting to play this game in order to enjoy it. Though it should be said that when I say there's no online matchmaking, I just mean you can't team up with a random stranger. You can still play with a friend over the internet, and that does make A Way Out a lot more accessible. Something else I want to mention is the pretty generous business model here. A Way Out only costs £25 or $30, and only one of the 2 players has to pay for the game. The other player downloads a free trial, and so long as they're playing with the person who bought the full version, they can play all the way through the game for free. Or of course, you can split the cost between the 2 of you, making it just $15 or £12.50 each. And really, that's good value. Especially since I would and did gladly pay the full £25, and I have absolutely no regrets about that. That having been said, I don't know how well this one will sell due to its forced co-op nature. I definitely don't think it would even have a chance of doing well on PC if it only had local co-op, like it looked like it might early on, when we were just hearing about this one. But fortunately, the inclusion of online co-op gives it a decent shot. And I don't think there's any other way they could have achieved what they were looking to do here. A Way Out just wouldn't have been as much of a special game if it were played with either an AI companion or in online matchmaking with a stranger, but from a business point of view, it'll certainly be interesting to see how well this one sells. In terms of performance, there's the usual array of very minor little issues and nitpicks, like the fact that playing on PC, there's forced voice chat in the game, and I had to turn this off using Origin by turning my mic all the way down on there, because obviously I'm going to use something like Skype or Discord, because that's just my go-to for speaking to friends on PC, and I don't want to have to use something that I don't know if it works as well. And there were a few moments of desync between me and my friend, because I played this one over the online service. But on the whole, everything ran smoothly with all the settings cranked up to the max, and although I'd personally recommend playing with a controller if you've got the choice, everything seemed to work as planned, and I was relatively impressed. Overall then, I know it's early in the year and there's a lot more to come, including games coming out very soon, like Far Cry 5, but I'd be happy to say right now that this is my favourite co-op game of 2018 so far, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it on a lot of people and publications' Game of the Year lists come December. At the very least as an honourable mention for trying something new and innovative, and for the most part, making it work. And it ends up being brilliantly different from anything else I've played in a long time, if ever. It's the type of game that'll have you laughing, shouting, and in the end working together with your friend, and it's not a game that should just be swept aside in the tide of massive AAA titles, as I feel it's an experience worth having, and sharing it with a friend just adds to that experience. So if you like what you've seen here, you're looking for something a bit different, and you've got a buddy who wants to play this with you, I'd have no problem whatsoever recommending picking this one up. So that's about it for today, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of A Way Out if you've played it or if you're considering picking it up down in the comments. I love hearing what everyone else thinks and having a discussion, as this is just my opinion, so I really want your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, I'd be very appreciative if you'd click that like button down below, and subscribe for more like this if you haven't already. Anyway, thanks for watching, I've been Nathan, and I'll see you next time.